PG-13 CGI zombies taking over the world. Let's talk about it.
Baby. Tell the kids I'm coming back. Just know I'm coming back.
World War Z centers around Jerry Lane, who is played by Brad Pitt. He's retired from the UN and stays home with his family, but after an outbreak occurs, he's forced out into the world to find answers as to what caused it in order to keep his family safe. Now, I was really excited for World War Z. I'm a huge horror fan. I was really excited to hear Brad Pitt being attached to a project like this. When the movie was announced it was PG-13, that made me a little bit skeptical, because how can you have a movie about zombies taking over the world and not put that in an R rating? More on that a little bit later, though. So me and my buddy, we got to see a pre-screening of this down in Chicago. I was super pumped up for it. We got a free t-shirt, we got free popcorn and pop, and Brad Pitt came out, so I was stoked. I was ready to see this movie. I was super pumped up. And when the movie began, the opening credit sequence was awesome. I was super on board with that. It was really unique, and I loved it. The movie starts off introducing you to Brad Pitt and his family. They're just having a typical morning, having breakfast, and when they go out for the day, everything breaks loose, shit gets crazy, and this movie absolutely wastes no time. And I love that about it. They didn't spend like the whole first act of the movie developing the characters. It was just, here we go. This is the morning it happened. This is what happened before, and now they're in the middle of it. So Brad Pitt and his family end up getting rescued. They get taken away in a helicopter, which you see this in the trailer. And Brad Pitt is faced with an ultimatum. You either go back out into the world, you find out what's causing all of this, we'll keep your family safe, or if you decide not to go out, we're going to remove your family from the safe zone. So ultimately, he's forced to do this, and now we have our movie. Unfortunately, this is where the movie kind of took a downhill slope for me. The trailer really spoiled a lot of this movie. So in the trailer, you have all the scenes where they're toppling over a bus, they're crawling up each other to get over a wall, they take down a helicopter, they're on a plane. That's really all you get as far as these big action sequences. And the shots that are in the trailer, they're really no longer in the movie. What you see in the trailer is literally the exact thing that's in the movie. The only difference is you get a couple of panned out shots where you get to see a bunch of zombies running around. And I mean, it's cool looking, but it's not anything extra to what you've already seen in the trailer, really, because those shots are throughout the movie. It's just a roller coaster ride of scene from the trailer, dull moment. Scene from the trailer, dull moment. Because there's nobody really that interesting to pay attention to in the movie. The acting is fine, and Brad Pitt does a really good job, but he's the only person you really care about. All these other characters that are popping in and out of the movie, you really don't care about anything that's going on. You're centered around Brad Pitt. You know he's going to make it through all of these things. Just by seeing the trailer, you can tell what's going to happen next. Like, they're going here. Well, I know this is going to happen. They're getting on a plane. Well, I know this is going to happen. So because of that, I never really had a moment where I was on the edge of my seat, because I was able to predict a lot of things that were happening. And the movie didn't really build a lot of suspense, and mainly because you didn't care about any of these other characters. Everybody was expendable except Brad Pitt, but he's the star of the movie. So I'm going to talk about the rating now. So this did get the PG-13 rating, and does that affect the movie at all? Not really at all, actually, because the way that they use the zombies in the movie are infected people, and I'm sure this is going to be up for debate. They're not ripping people apart, they're not eating people, they're literally biting people to infect them, and that's it. They bite you, they infect you, they move on. It has nothing to do with eating you or tearing you apart. So I can see why they wanted to keep it a PG-13, because it would be open to a broader audience. So ultimately, the rating didn't really affect the movie at all. Unless you wanted to see a shitload of zombies ripping a shitload of people apart, then the rating affected the movie. There are a couple of jump scares in the movie, and they're really predictable. You know when they're going to come, but with the camera angle, they do a really good job at still surprising you. But for the most part, the movie feels more of an action movie than it does a horror movie. So let's talk real quick about whether or not these are zombies or infected people. Zombies are undead, which they do mention in the movie, but they don't kill anybody in the movie. They bite them, infect them, and they move on. So unless the infection immediately kills you and brings you back as the undead, then it's more of an infection thing. I think they did a really good job at blending the both together, just to give you a different take on everything. But let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you think this was more of a zombie outbreak, an infection outbreak? I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. Now to talk about the CGI zombies. This wasn't a huge problem in the movie, because whenever they had to use real actors and makeup, they did it. And it's probably impossible to get that many extras for these panned out shots. But the CGI was not done very well, and it shows. A lot of the CGI and the way that the zombies were moving was almost identical to how Spider-Man moved in the first Sam Raimi movie, if you catch my drift. And by far, World War Z has one of the most gratuitous product placements ever. It's towards the end of the movie. If you've seen the movie, I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, you're not going to miss it. And I loved the ending of the movie. I'm sure some people are going to have some issues with it, and they wrap it up kind of quick, but I loved the end of the movie. It kind of saved the whole movie for me. What the movie really boils down to is Brad Pitt can carry a movie. You stay interested because it's Brad Pitt. If there was any any other second-rate actor that you didn't really care about, this movie would have been terrible. Brad Pitt carried the movie, kept it on his shoulders, and did a good job making the best of what he was given. I really enjoyed the beginning of the movie, and I really enjoyed the ending of the movie, but everything in the middle was just play it by the numbers, play it by the book, and you're essentially watching the trailer. It just didn't fully strike the chord that I wanted it to strike, and it's probably partially to blame on the trailer. If you went to one of the pre-screenings and you've seen World War Z, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you thought about it. If you're going to leave any spoilers, make sure to put that in your comment to let other people know. Also, let me know if you feel this is more of a zombie outbreak or an infection outbreak. I'm curious to hear what your thoughts are. And as always, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you want to follow everything else that I do, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, keep it groovy.